Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am honored to have a conversation with actor Kurt Fuller. You've seen Kurt in Psych and the Psych movies, Evil, No Holds Barred, Supernatural, and more. Thank you so much for being on my show. I am so excited to be talking with you.
Maya, I am excited to talk to you. I see that you've talked to just about everybody in show business. I'm almost the last person that you've gotten to. This might be it.
um, so let's get started. So who do you most admire, and how has that affected the way you live your life?
Woo! Who do I most admire? Well, the person, honestly, that I most admired was my father, uh, who who has, he passed at 90 years old, but he was just an honest, straightforward person, did business on a handshake, expected other people to be honest with him, and he was honest with others, and was just a good man. And that's what I've tried to be in my life.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Um, so what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
Oh boy. Well, uh, when my wife is happy, I'm happy. So if when we wake up, if I see that she's happy, in a good mood, cheery, I know I'm halfway there during the day. If she's not, which is rare, then I'm concerned. But that brings me great joy. Golf, I've been playing golf for you probably never played golf.
Yeah.
No, okay. You're that's fine. That's less people on the golf course for me. Uh, but
I've tried, but
sure, it's hard. And I've
yeah.
been playing golf, really, I'm 71. I've been playing golf for 60 years. Okay. I was at my best when I was 40. That was 31 years ago. And it's been a slow fall tumble down the hill of golf. And no matter what I do, I cannot ever feel like I had a perfect day. So the little things, a shot here, a shot there, a good bounce, luck, my opponent screwing up so I win, anything, those little things make me very happy. And also when the kids either call, or I've got two girls, they either call or drop by. Those are the things that make me happy.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Thanks. I sound like a perfect person, don't I? That's because I'm being interviewed, so I'm on my best behavior.
Um, so what has been the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
Insecurity. Insecurity. Uh, I think a lot of performers have um, actually high confidence in their abilities and very high insecurity in how they'll be received. And it's what keeps you going. But the things that have held me back, not a lack of belief in myself, a lack of belief in my abilities to succeed. Because you can be great at something. I know people who are great at things and they get nowhere because there's so many more ingredients to achievement besides your ability. There's your confidence, there's your capacity to handle rejection, and there's your ability not to get defeated by obstacles, which is what you asked about. It's actually a great question. And I always suffered from insecurity. I think because when I grew up, I'm 6'2" and a half now, but I was at my tallest 6'4", And I was in high school, tall and very, very, very skinny. My nickname was Goose because my legs were so long and skinny in high school. And I just got, that's what happens. I just got insecure, and I don't know if I ever really conquered it. But we don't really conquer the things that trouble us. We learn how to live and work around them. The things you feel never go away. You just learn to live with them, and you just make them part of your existence. And that's what I've done with insecurity, to the point where I'm not I'm not insecure about this. I'm not, I've done things. I know, you know, the worst that can happen is that people say no.
Yeah.
And if you can handle them saying no, then you will never get defeated in life, because that's the worst anybody can do to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's very impressive to, be able to have um like got worked through that. I'm still working on that.
And you will your whole life.
Yeah.
It never goes, you never defeat it. You just wrestle it to a tie. That's
Mm,
what you do.
yeah.
And you can't expect, that should be your expectation, not to defeat anything.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
I'm never going to get hair back. I just, I just learned to live with being a bald old man. It's just, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Um, so what lessons from your childhood have most impacted your worldview?
Wow. These are, you know what? These are, these are tough questions. I mean, they're good questions, you
Thank you.
know. Uh, Lessons from my childhood. When I was in fourth grade, I went to a new school. I moved around a lot growing up because of my father's job. He was a banker. He worked for Bank of America, and they would move you every 3 years. So I moved every 3 years until I went to college, actually. And I had a thing where I had an eye tick, where when I got nervous, I would open my eyes wide. And on the first day of fourth grade, I can't believe this is going back so long. My teacher, Mrs. K, in fourth grade in Ripon, California, which is in the San Joaquin Valley, which is Grapes of Wrath. It takes place in this area, these areas. Um, she called me in front of the class, and someone had said I had yelled in the bathroom. Okay, it's a little silly, which I didn't, by the way. And she said, "Did you yell in the bathroom?" I said no, and when I did, I widened my eyes like I do, and she slapped me across the face
Oh.
in front of the class and said, "Don't roll your eyes at me." It's completely bizarre, but it happened because she was having a bad day or whatever. I don't know, but it changed me completely. I was so embarrassed, so humiliated, that I walked in the next day to that class and put on, I know I layered it on, this sort of funny, happy kid, no problems. That was the only way I could figure out how to fight my feeling of humiliation, was to completely go against it. And that is the day I started performing. And out of that moment, it led me to a great thing, becoming an actor. And out of those ashes, I rose, and just, I never lost sight of the fact. I never bought into me being that person. I always knew I was layering it on, and I was putting it on. And so I always remembered that. So I never sort of believed my own BS. I knew I was doing it.
Yeah.
And, but it really, I just learned everything about performing because I felt it was my only way to exist. So that's an answer you probably didn't expect.
Yeah. No, I did not.
Well, just like my dad, I just tell the truth.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I yeah, that's my mom. She we always joke she has no filter, just
Right.
yeah, and then but then my sister and I always uh joke with her about that, but then we're exactly the same way.
Yeah,
So
my kids joke with me about it too. It's so funny.
yeah. Um, so if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh, warning, can be sarcastic. I am very sarcastic, and I actually have to watch it sometimes because people believe it or you catch them at a bad time. So that's another thing I struggle with. Is just sort of, when you're a performer and you're a known person, people tend to like give you a wide they let you do stuff like that. But I know I have actually hurt people's feelings, so I'm very careful about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When my best friend and I are together, we're so sarcastic with each
Right.
other.
I know.
Yeah, we just constantly like make fun of each other, like in
It's
a
really, I
funny
find
way.
it very fun, and I like it when people do it to me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not everybody likes that. You got to find the right people.
Yeah. Like it's not in a mean way. So,
No, I can't, that's what I feel it's like my greatest love is from sarcasm. I don't,
yeah.
I don't do that with people I don't like.
Yeah.
I only do it with people I really like.
Yeah.
So it's hard to though. It's hard to get other people to understand. So it's really
Yeah.
my responsibility to be careful.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. It's only with like people I'm really comfortable with
Correct.
that I like do that with.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
We'd probably be great friends then.
Yes, I think so. Um, so I am pop culture obsessed and go in stages of shows that I
Hmm.
cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Yes, I am. It's a drama, funny drama called Slow Horses. It stars Gary Oldman, and I don't even know which streaming service it's on because I can't keep track of all the ones my family has signed up for. Uh, but it's a great show. I'm obsessed with it. So it's called Slow Horses. I highly recommend it. And another good obsession is the show I just finished doing called Evil,
Yeah.
which I just saw was the number 8 show, the eighth most watched streaming show in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Over 10 billion minutes or something.
Oh,
Some,
wow.
yeah. It's
That's so
really,
cool.
if you like to be scared and it's also funny, watch it. If you don't like to be scared, broaden your horizons and watch it because it's
Okay.
really good.
Yeah, it was when the show first came out, I watched the first episode and I loved
Hmm.
it. And I was also like, I don't know if right now I can watch it because I was also very freaked out, but I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Well,
So,
the other thing is there's so much competition for your time, you know.
yeah.
Unless you just watch TV 24/7, you can't watch everything. So
Yeah.
you have to like really not watch things that you really actually want to watch and would enjoy because it's just not enough. There's just so much.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the things that's really, tough about the people who make these shows now is that they can make great shows that nobody ever sees. In fact, Evil, until it went on Netflix, was not a popular show. The second it hit Netflix, it just took off because people actually watched it. It's on and produced by Paramount on the Paramount Plus thing, and I used to call Paramount Plus the Witness Protection Program because you could be on there and no one would know you were there, you know?
Oh,
Uh, so the best thing that happened to Evil was Netflix picked it up as well.
oh, yeah.
So watch it on Netflix or wherever you want to watch it, but
Okay.
watch it. Come
Yeah,
on,
I will. I
Jesus, give me a
definitely.
break. I'm here.
Yeah. No, I remember when I watched the first episode, I loved it.
Yeah.
And so I've been meaning to go back and watch it all the way through.
Well, you have time.
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah, so when you have a day off, what would your perfect day look like?
Oh, my perfect day. Okay. I love to get up and drink coffee and read the paper. I'm a big newspaper news junkie.
Mm,
Uh, although some days it's hard, but
yeah.
uh, and I'm feeling especially grateful because my house didn't burn down in the fires, and I have friends who lost everything.
Yeah.
So my perfect day is a little different these days. I wake up very grateful for having a place to live. Um, Read the paper, have breakfast. Usually, there's a place called the Zen Bakery down the street, which makes these great muffins and carob things that are actually good for you, goodish for you.
Yeah.
I usually have that because the alternative is hash browns and eggs, which is just a killer.
Mm,
Uh, and then probably go to the golf course, practice. I like to practice a lot. Practice, then go to the gym, do a few old man exercises, maybe ride the bike, uh, then come home and call some friends. I love to call friends. I love to talk to my friends on the phone. And most of my friends are elsewhere, they're not in LA. And then probably, hang out with my wife because I like that, people who say that we're always together, we're always together. What's the sense of being together? Then you both experience the same things. You have nothing to bring. I like that my wife does her thing and I do my thing. And then when we come back, we each have things to share that the other doesn't know about.
mm,
And we do that. And I like to go out to dinner, but my wife does not like to go out to dinner. So I
yeah.
try and get her to go out to dinner. I think I've done it. And then she always ends up cooking something,
Yeah.
but it's always good.
Oh,
And that's really, you know, I
mm,
don't expect too much out of a day. I just, I just, you know, I, uh, I used to be a very, very, very ambitious person, and you have to be to have an acting career. You have to be. I mean, I was just, but now I'm on cruise control with acting. I mean, I'm sort of moving into retirement a little bit. I don't want to act that much anymore.
mm,
Being on a sound stage for 14, 15 now, I've done it. I enjoyed it, but I want other things now.
mm.
And so my day is just about, really connecting with people and, you know, exploring what's going on in the world.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That sounds like a great day.
It is when you're 70, everything changes. You go through phases in your life. Everything changes every 10 years or so, I think. What you want, what you need, what you think you should do. It just changes.
Mm, yeah.
And that's where I am now.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I think in 10 years I'll just be happy to be alive if I'm
Mm.
alive. So, it just always changes. That's just the way it is.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so what is the greatest lesson you have learned from a character you've played?
Boy, I've played so many. I'm going through the catalog, I looked at myself on the Internet Movie Database, if you
Mm,
know what that is.
yeah.
I've got like 211 different jobs. Ridiculous.
Mm,
It means I've never said no to a job, it looks like, but I
yeah.
actually have. I'm trying to think of from a character. I would say that I've learned nothing. No, there's no lesson I've learned from any character.
Mm,
There's no lesson I've learned from any character. It's I mean, I watch things. Yeah, I don't learn lessons from other people so much. There are people I admire, but
yeah.
I just learn lessons from experience. And when I screw up, that's when I mean, I've made many, many mistakes,
Yeah.
and that's where I learn my lessons. Not, I don't sort of, I don't read things and learn lessons. I read for enjoyment. I don't do self-help books and all that. And everybody is so different. Every experience is so unique. Yeah, I just think you have to dig it out of yourself
Yeah.
what you learn. That's just the way I do it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Did you come up with these questions?
Yeah.
My God, they're good. What
Thank you.
genre? I would think a dramatic comedy, dramedy,
Yeah.
because my life has been equal parts drama and comedy. And I love to laugh. I love to make other people laugh, but I love to go into the more basic, serious, darker areas of life as well. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
And I have found that for me, the way I was at about 8 years old, I'm not that much different now.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm basically the things I worried about, the things that I had problems with, the things that I excelled at. No, it hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed. It's just become there's just a bigger database, and there's a lot that I draw on. But it's you know people people 10,000 years ago were going through the same things we are with just different technology, really. But it
Yeah.
was all the same. It's all the same. There's envy, there's jealousy, there's love, and there's power. And that's the basic, that's the basic things in humanity that keep us going.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change. So there's really not that much to learn. There's just a lot to deal with.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm trying to give you thoughtful answers.
Yeah, I love them. They're great.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that answer. Yeah. Yeah. So what three words best describe you?
Determined, scared, loving.
I like those.
Hey, man, there's a lot more, but if you want three, those are three.
Yeah, I like those. Um, do you have any irrational fears?
I think most of my fears are rational, but trying to think if in my life I've had irrational fears. I have a fear. I've always had a fear of failure, but that's a rational fear because you fail. I think my only irrational fear is that I wouldn't be able to handle what life has thrown at me. But, life can throw things at you that you can't handle. So it's not an irrational fear. I think all my fears are very justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're irrational. You know, I don't think a meteorite's going to hit me. I don't think I'm going to jump and keep going. I don't think I have an irrational fear.
Wow.
I have too many fears. I have, you know, the thing I really regret is there's so many things you can't do anything about, and you can't worry about those, but I do anyway. You know, I I want to control everything. I want to make sure I've got everything covered. You can't. Life is going to happen,
Yeah.
and I wish I could only worry about the things I could do something about. When you worry about things you can't do anything about, you're wasting your time.
Mm. Yeah.
And I do a lot of that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I needed to hear that because I still need to work on that.
and you always will. I'm telling you, it won't
Yeah.
change. You'll just get better at it.
Yeah. Um, so what is your most memorable moment from being on set?
Oof. God, I've worked with so many good people. All right, here's my most. It's kind of you know. I did a movie called Ray that starred Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, and I know he was nominated for the Oscar for it. I think he might have won the Oscar for Ray. So really, he's really great at it. And I played this took in the '60s. It took place most of it. I played the head of ABC Music, and I had a scene with him where we were negotiating his contract. And Jamie Foxx was so good as Ray Charles, so incredibly good, that it's really the only time in all the things I've done that I forgot I was in a movie, that I forgot I was Kurt Fuller, that I forgot that there were cameras and 100 people everywhere, that I forgot there was a mic right here, that I forgot that I had lines I had to say. I actually was talking to Ray Charles, and it lasted for about 5 minutes. And it's the most amazing acting experience I've ever had. And I give all credit to how great Jamie Foxx was. He was so good that you just, I had to go there with him. And I literally forgot anything. It was just he and I in a room talking. And that's the most amazing moment I've ever had.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, it's hard because when you're working, there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
and the cameras can sometimes be right there. I mean, it's unless you've been there, you don't you would understand why people say acting is hard because there's so much trying to distract you from what you really have to do.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So what show or movie do you find yourself quoting all the time?
Psych,
Yeah, me
psych.
too.
I had. I'm telling you, that was the funniest show. Was with I mean, honestly, it's it's just I quote it all the time. People quote it to me all the time. People send me stuff and ask me to write quotes on it all the time. You know, uh,
Yeah.
we did nothing wrong. Come back to bed, peaches. I mean, all the things. What am I talking about? We're talking about half a man here. Come on, all that stuff. And we're actually on in April. I think April 11th.
Yeah.
We're doing a psychedelphia. We're going to
Yeah.
be in Philadelphia at a at the second psych convention,
Wow.
and it's the show has brought me a
Yeah.
lot of happiness, and a lot of joy.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite job, along with Evil, which I really love because the material is so good. But that show is just flat out funny, and if you don't like Psych, I I don't know. I don't know if we can get along, you
Yeah.
know,
I
because
don't trust people who don't like psych.
it's hard to because
Yeah.
what? Are you human? Do you have a
Yeah.
central nervous system? Are you listening?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my answer.
I love that. Yeah, Psych is one of my biggest comfort shows.
It's a national treasure, honestly.
Yes, it
It
is.
it is. It's been gone for 11 years now. So,
Wow.
but we've done three movies, and maybe there's going to be a fourth, although I'm starting to think there isn't.
Oh.
I
Well,
know.
I really hope there will be a fourth.
Well, there's still people. They're still working for it. They're still pushing for it. You know, we'll see. I mean, Suits has come back.
Yeah,
Uh, there's a couple other of those shows coming back, so we'll see.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Psych is I quote that show all the time and I think my most quoted shows are Psych, Will and Grace and Friends.
Oh well,
So,
those are three great shows to
yeah.
absolutely. That's funny. The guy in Will and Grace, Eric McCormick.
Yeah.
I did a movie of the week with him about 10 years before he got Will and Grace. He was just a in Vancouver. He's Canadian. He was
Yeah.
just a young actor, and I just found him to be a delightful person. And we actually corresponded a couple of times after because he was trying to learn about acting and stuff. And I was so glad to see him get that show and do well because he's a really great guy.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, I interviewed him a few years ago and
Hmm.
he's
He is
such a
right. He's great.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually sent me some Will and Grace swag.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Absolutely good.
Yeah. Um, so do you have a go-to comfort show or movie?
You know what my comfort show is? The Price is Right.
Oh,
I'm now telling you my this is humiliating. But when I just want to forget, I something about The Price is Right, something about the host, Drew Carey. I I I don't know Drew Carey. I just find him so comforting. There's something about him.
yeah.
So I don't watch so many shows anymore because I know how they're made. I know what's going on. I see all the flaws. I see all the There's a lot about television writing that I don't like, and there's very few shows I think. For me, somebody who's done so many things, I've done many. I've done 10 television. I've been in a regular on 10 series, and most of them were not good,
Mm.
but a few of them were. And so, if something's really great, like Slow Horses, I'll watch it. I like The Bear. I think that's really good. I think Fleabag is really good. I mean, I think certain things are really good. Uh, but I rather have a reality show because I don't judge it. I just sort of sit there and zone out.
Mm.
And that's what I want in a comfort show. Something I don't have to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm a real lightweight.
Yeah. Yeah, I any show that can just turn off my brain and help me
Yes,
escape reality is my comfort
correct,
show.
correct.
Um,
I'm with you.
yeah.
I just think I just say no. You think it's that bid is too high. You're wrong. I That's all I do.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. There's I have a list of shows and movies I just rotate between, but right now it's all Psych and White Collar.
White Collar. I think
Yeah.
White Collar might be coming back.
Yeah, they're working on a
And
reboot.
that's another show
Yeah.
from USA when
Yeah.
Psych was on. So,
Yeah.
it's not unbelievable that we would be, they would want us to. I don't know if we would do it, but
Yeah. Well, I think Psych should be next.
They better hurry. That's all I'm saying. Those, the man boy of Sean, he's going to just be a man, so it's
Yeah,
not going to work as well.
yeah. Um, yeah, so yeah, I remember when yeah, they announced the White Collar reboot. I was so excited.
Yeah. I don't know when it's coming, but I think it's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm constantly like looking things up about it to see if they like have announced when it's gonna come out and
Really?
yeah. So I'm
Okay.
keeping an
Well,
eye on it.
I sort of have a little inside info. I'll let you know.
Ooh. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I can't tell you how, but
Yeah.
I have a little relationship with people involved with white collar, so
Oh, that's so cool.
I will let you know now that we
Okay.
know each other.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
okay.
Yeah. Um, so I just have one more question for you.
Okay.
Um, I love inspiring and motivational quotes, and this week the one that spoke to me is don't spend your life playing someone else's tune, compose your own. Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Lately, not, lately the news has been here in LA, it's been a little tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just been sort of survival quotes, but I don't really, I'm not one to remember. I think that's a great inspirational quote. And I think, you know, the one I've always gone by myself is believe in yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And because I just think that's essential. That's the most essential thing you can do
Yeah.
because other people aren't going to. And just like there's so many shows that nobody can concentrate on them, there are so many humans that nobody's going to focus in on you unless you focus in on yourself
Yeah.
because there's just too many people. There's too many people who can do exactly what you can do, but then none of them can do it the way you do it. None of them can do it with who you are. And what you bring to things is not just your ability, but it's who you are. And so you have to believe in who you are. You have to believe that you really are worthy of attention.
Yeah.
And that's that. So believe in yourself has always been the one that I have gone by.
Yeah. I love that one.
Well, it's a simple one, but
Yeah.
I'm a simple man. So
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, that's a great one.
thank you.
Yeah. Um, well, that was my final question for you. I have had so much fun talking with you. I so appreciate your taking the time to join me. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And I must say, you didn't ask any question that I was expecting. It was so good. It was so much more interesting. I enjoyed it so much that you have an open invitation to talk to me whenever you want to. Not that I have anything else to say, but
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I think you're really, really good at this.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Well, I mean it.
Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, I would love to talk to you anytime. And
Okay.
um,
Well, you'll hear from me about white collar. So
okay, yay, yes, I'm excited. Um, yeah,
maybe if Sight comes back, we can do this again.
yes, I would
That
love
would be a good
that.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, so thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.